I'm a star. In the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Set. 30 base. 54 Mike. Now watch one. Five.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, high 7.
22, back 22. All day, just like that. Just like that.
Light 22, he's coming.
From the gun, Costello going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Check. Check three.
Richard on the toss. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Set. 10 Lobo.
Right there, 56.
You don't know no better.
Check.
Get it.
On the draw, Richard. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Ready.
A pair of negative running plays, and now they're looking up at a 3rd down at 17 to go.
80 weapons.
Operating from the gun, Costello. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Lions will take over.
Ready? 60 or 54. I'm trying to collect. Christian Travis.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now Johnson. "38 yards on the scamper there."
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. On 1st and 10, Eason. Open man is Galladay, complete. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the 25-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And some room to roam now. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Brashad Perriman, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Check.
They'll run on 1st down. Richard. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Mike 22. I'm coming, baby.
Bravo. Mike 25.
Throwing on 1st down. Costello. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
On the ready.
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check.
6-6. Bullet high.
Time to go. Night. Mike 5-4.
Hey.
On 1st down, Eason. And he slings one that's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Throwing again. Eason. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Delta.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Exit. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Here we go, G, get off the field.
Hey, watch that. Hey, Foxtrot.
Mike 54.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Hey, Hayward.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Get in the way.
Hey.
From the gun, Eason. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Costello, rush coming, and he's taken down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter.
Ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Charlie.
Mike 22. Let's get the ball.
Ready.
Operating from the gun. Costello toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Costello. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, Costello. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here we go, set. 60 outlaw.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Hit it.
They'll run it here. This is James White. They'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Recon, 152 fighter. Hey, Orville.
Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27.
Yep. Get it.
Operating from the gun, Eason. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found him.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys right up the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey, exit.
Throwing again. Eason. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hawkinson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. 23 yards the pickup there.
Come on, set. 10-2 stop.
We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Switch.
61, matchbox lights. Hey, echo. Let go.
From the gun, Eason. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Brashad Perriman with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. This is Richard. A second broken tackle. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
On 2nd down now, Richard. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
3rd and 3.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
5. 22, he's coming, 22.
Operating from the gun. Costello. Open man. Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
On 1st and 10, Costello. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd down, Richard. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
They still playing soft. Hey, high 7. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Costello. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. The extra point up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On the ground, Richard. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Check 99. Check. X3. 218. Chopper.
To throw on 2nd down, Costello, and that'll be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
65. Kill.
From the gun, Costello. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Looking to throw. Costello eluding the pressure right. He's got a man complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Mike 56, Mike 56. Bravo. Let's make these babies ready.
Back to throw. Costello. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Topper!
The final shot before break. Costello under pressure again, and down he goes again. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
go
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, look at me. Zipper.
Record.
Looking to throw. Eason. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
It's taken to the 26. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hey, Delta, get it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Costello. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Costello, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Yo, faster.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ready? 50, plant.
Check. Watch 54. Hey.
Go.
Off play action. Eason. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. Powers over him.
Just fed him his pads, didn't he?
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now in Lambeau. And that one is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Packers. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Throwing to start the drive. Costello. And under the Lions. Pressure, he's brought down. Trey Flowers make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, 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 twist. Look at me. Go. Be trip.
Rashard. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
3rd down and long.
Let's go. 60 or.
I got you.
Hey, Haywood. 5.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Costello. That's caught by Howard. 30. The 20. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Costello under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. To throw on 2nd down. Costello. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very
56.
long.
Mike, 56, right there, 56. Watch the curl. Mike, 56, Mike, 56. Hey, tighten down, there you go. Check 50. What? Switch. Kill, turn it up. Kill, turn it up. He's coming, double up. He's coming, double up.
Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Costello, and he's going to go down again. Demario Davis. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down, they'll run with White, and they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Back to throw. Eason. He's got his man, T.J. Hawkinson. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. James White, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10.
Rock it.
To throw again. Costello. His throw incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Looking to throw. Costello. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Here we go. Set. 10 Lobo. Hey, Alpha.
You better bring it.
22 jet bomber. 22 hit it.
On first down, Johnson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts. And
Johnson on its poke free. Football's out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Accelerating, and off he goes. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Back to throw. Costello. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception early. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Lorenzo Carter in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal.
Hey, echo.
On 4th down, Costello. And it is incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Matchbox lights. Go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another 1st down run right there.
Hatchet.
Right back to him on 1st down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Steelers' 29-yard line.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Detroit, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.